Now, since every piece of content that can have a grade attached is in the Grade Center, the almighty Grade Center can be accessed on your left navigation, bottom half on your control panel, right under the Grade Center tab. Pretty easy to find. And you have the option of going to just items that actually need grading, or you can go to just the assignments, just tests. But we're going to go ahead and do the full Grade Center just to give you an idea what the whole interface looks like. Now this is the Grade Center, and what you have is a table where every person enrolled in your course will be in a column, and you can organize these columns by last name, first name, student ID, last access, whenever. So you can check when people last accessed Blackboard. And under here we have our columns. So we have our support services quiz, we have our background content quiz, our intro to building quiz. Basically every piece of content that can have a grade will create or will receive a column by default within your Grade Center. And then the grade or the attempts would appear in that cell for that user. Now, what's really handy is you have the option of hiding all of these users except for just one person. And that's useful if you want to go over someone's grades with them, either face-to-face or through a web conference or whatever. You can show them their grades and all of their content without exposing everybody else in the table. To do so, go up to this Manage tab right here towards the middle and go to Row Visibility. You'll now have a table where all of your students are, and then you can select to have just one person visible. And you can choose to hide the row, and if a row is hidden, you'll see them kind of grayed out and italicized. And then anybody who is visible will be in bold. Now when I go ahead and hit Submit, we have just that one user visible in our column. So if I go over their grades face to face, I have the option of actually showing them their point totals and their assignments without compromising anybody else's privacy. Now, here's an example of the Grade Center for an actual class. And we have all of our students and whatnot. And then we have all of our columns for the possible assignments. Now, these column names are going to be whatever the content item that has a point value is called. So whatever your item with points is named, that is the name that will appear in this column at the top. And these already have scores attached to them. And if there is a double dash, that means that that person did not submit anything for the assignment. And what we can do is under any of these cells, we can go ahead and click on this little circle in the cell, and we have the option of viewing grade details. And if we had multiple attempts, we would see all of the user attempts in a list down here. So let's go ahead and go to view grade details or view attempts. And we have the option of seeing their attempts here. And we can also go ahead and do a manual override if we choose to. And we can give them some feedback as to why we are giving them the override. And then over here on the Grade History tab, you can have a history of all grades and for each attempt for that particular assignment. Now here's an example of another course where we have users who've created assignment uploads as part of their requirements. Now we have the option here you'll see a little icon here. This thing here means that an attempt is in progress. So the user is currently taking the test or in the process of finalizing their assignment. For everybody else, these have already been graded, but we have the option here of clicking on this little circle, and you're going to see that we have a attempt sequence underneath the exempt grade option. Now, if we had multiple attempts, we would see all of those attempts listed in order. If you go ahead and click on this attempt, we will see the user's attempt page where we can go ahead and look at all their answers, both correct and incorrect. Or if they had an assignment, we would see their Word document or PDF file in a window right here. And then we have a screen on the side where we can give them some feedback on why we are giving them the grade we are giving. And again, we'll go over more about the Grade Center in further detail in a later video. Just know that the Grade Center has columns for every piece of content you create in your shell that has a point value. That name for the column is going to be your content item name, and you can view the number of attempts as well as limit how many attempts they can utilize, and set a due date in addition to a visible after and until date.